Hey, welcome to this episode of WTF Construction. Today is going to be a quick video installing a new thermostat to replace our old thermostat. She's hurting a little bit. So I have this strange switch coming out of the wall that does nothing and a strange button coming out of the wall that does nothing. And it actually was connected to a doorbell that ran into the basement where there used to be a business. So I think I'm gonna get lucky because this is an 18.4 wire, and of course I need an 18.5 wire for the new thermostat. So I'm gonna use one of these old wires to fish the new wire through, run it down to the furnace, and then I have an idea on how to cover these holes without actually doing any drywall work. So we're gonna try that out. But let me do the messy work real quick and we'll get back to that. Okay, so I was right. There's a two-wire wired to this weird old sideways switch, and it seems to be going up, and I have no idea because it doesn't control anything. And there's actually, if I take my little power tester here, there's no power flowing through these. So I'm gonna leave this box in the wall. I'm gonna disconnect these wires and just put some wire nuts on them and push them in and leave them for now. If I ever figure out what they're for, maybe I can, cross that bridge later. But for now, they'll just be tucked in there, not hurting anyone. And then this wire for this doorbell button runs down to the basement. So without even disconnecting our 18.4 and having no heat, because it is like 16 degrees out today, I'm gonna use this wire to pull the 18.5 down and get it right by the furnace. And then I can wire up my thermostat, and that way all I have to do is power down the furnace, swap the wires over to the new thermostat, and then we'll be in business without missing a beat. It's been 2 weeks since we started this quick 20-minute video installation of this smart thermostat. Let me get you caught up. I started working here. I started working here, just prepping the wall, getting the wires, and I discovered that I only had 4 wires here. Smart thermostats require 5 because you need a common wire to power the unit. So I had to run this new wire. That turned out to be no problem. I did that, I got it down to the furnace. Now, this is where, once I had the furnace open and I started to check out the wiring and how I was gonna, attach everything, and I noticed that one of our furnaces, we have 2, one of them was underperforming. And by underperforming, I mean not working. So after a lot of time of ordering parts and getting them in and fixing the thing, I was able to get, well, I don't know if they work because I'm installing the smart thermostat. So with any luck, I'm gonna install this, and then we should see both of our 2 furnaces fire up for the first time in I don't know how long. Anyway, let's get this thing mounted finally. I have this wall prepped, and you might be wondering, wow, there's a big ugly hole in the wall. Well, I actually came up with this idea to cover that hole in the wall with a nice back.
Wait, your idea?
This is my idea.
Okay.
No matter who takes credit for it, this was my brainchild.
Mm-hmm.
So, I bought this, I stained it, I pre-drilled it, and I'm going to mount this to the wall. There's a hole in the middle for thermostat wires. Anyway, let's get this done. I'm gonna need your help, so why don't you set the camera down? This was mine, bitch.
No.
What do you mean it wasn't?
We were at Hobby Lobby and we were talking about a way to cover the hole. I said, look at this, this would be perfect.
No, I was already there looking for this for that reason. You just inserted yourself. You're like, oh, I got the best idea. I got a bad idea. Here. Actually, no. You hold this thing. Actually.
What do you want me to do with this?
I need it. Alright, now I got my little cheat sheet of my furnace wiring. Yours might be different, but this is the way I've chosen to wire it up based with the color wires I have and how many connections I have. Again, I have 2 furnaces, so I've got a little weirdness going on with that, and I'm also not even sure if this is going to be correct. So, all you gotta do is take the little bits of wire and hook them up. Plaque mounted, we got the base mounted and wired. All we gotta do, click the thermostat in place. Done and done.
Shall we turn it on?
So now we have to flip the circuit breaker and flip the furnaces on, and then it's gonna be a 2 tester. Are the furnace is gonna work, and is the thermostat gonna work?
So far, so good.
Now, just gotta break out the handy dandy smartphone and hook it up and program it. And see if it works. It's been a long 2 weeks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I fired this thing up and it came to life, and that's not the hard part. The hard part was you know, does it work? Does it control the furnaces? Do the furnaces work after all my stuff I fixed? And the answer is couldn't even figure that out because I started to do the setup in the app, and this kind of butters my biscuits, but it's actually useful information. We have a 2-stage furnace for heating, and it's not that we have a 2-stage furnace, it's that we have 2 stages of furnaces because we have the 2. So ideally, one would come on, and if it couldn't heat up the house in X amount of time, the second one would come on as like a booster. And I was hoping this thermostat could control it, and it says in the literature for it that it does support W and W2 systems, would be a 2-stage furnace. But when I was setting it up in the app, when I clicked the W2 wire selected, it was like, nope, doesn't work. It's not compatible with your system. So after a little fiddling and research, I pretty much figured out that that's what was holding me up. So I went back downstairs, changed up my wiring, and now this thing is wired just like a normal system for one furnace, but downstairs it's actually controlling 2 furnaces. So it makes wiring up here simple. I just had to come back here and undo a couple things that I did. So finishing that up right now, and then we should have our answer. Is this gonna work? And also, the house is getting cold, so we gotta finish this up. So, straightforward wiring is red for R, white for W, blue for C, green for G, and yellow for Y. So the one that really doesn't coordinate with the letter is the blue for the C. And now we should be in business. So let me plug the thermostat back in and flip the circuit breaker and see what happens. So after some trials and tribulations, it is complete, it is pretty, it is covering a big hole in the wall, and it is smart. So it is nice, you control it from the app or from the Amazon devices, all that good stuff. And it is touch. You just adjust it like that. And it's also smart, so it'll lower the temperature at night and raise it up during the day. It'll actually detect if you're home, and if it thinks you're not home, it'll actually put it in away mode. So kind of neat. It would have been really easy to install if this house wasn't over 100 years old with a bunch of other nonsense that I had to deal with. But everything is working good, and we have heat again, and hopefully we'll get the house above 60 degrees in the next few minutes. But thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.